I know we have two countries already. We have treaty, Indonesia and Thailand. Pero other countries, nagpahayag na ba sila na interested po silang sumama rito at ma-ratify itong ASEAN Extradition Treaty? Attorney?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. All ASEAN member states have signified their intention to ratify the ASEAN Extradition Treaty as evidenced by their signing of said agreement last November here in Manila. But if the Philippines, so far no member state has yet ratified it based on their internal processes. And we are hoping that the Philippines could be the first to ratify this milestone agreement as a highlight or as an accomplishment during the ASEAN chairship by the Philippines. Your
So
Honor.
you're saying, Attorney Chan, they just signify pa lang their intention to ratify itong ASEAN Extradition Treaty. And what are the basis na they're interested on this treaty that we have, Attorney?
Mr. Chair, apologies. The all member states will undergo their own respective ratification process of the treaty. So this ASEAN extradition treaty will be ratified by the respective ASEAN member states, Mr. Chair.
Right? Kasi baka naman tayo lang ang meron ganito pero sila na wala pa, then hindi rin effective ito. And we really need this because kagaya po na nangyari sa isa pong mambabatas dun sa isang member state po ngayon, hindi po mai-surrender. Yun ang naging problema. Ngayon, tanong ko po dito, can you identify po yung mga tao na pwedeng i-extradite? Paki-explain po yung paano gagawin natin na request for extradition at anong agencies ang involved. Paano kung wala po siyang kaso sa bansa na yon? Pero dito sa atin meron. Can we request na pwede nyo bang i-extradite? May mga issues tayong ganun ngayon. Nasa Europe ngayon, paano ito? How do we do this? Gagalangin kaya, sasabihin, wala naman siyang kaso dito sa amin. At meron siyang a permanent resident na siya dito ngayon dahil may mga visa siya or whatever, may mga investment siya. Tapos tayo lang ang may kaso sa kanya. How do we go about this?
Mr. Chair, I would like to provide initial context that the answers I will be given is purely within the ambit of the ASEAN Treaty on Extradition.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, the purposes of extradition are to initiate prosecution over an individual or for said individual to serve his sentence in the requested state. So to answer your first question, Your Honor, even if the subject extraditee is for purposes of this discussion in Singapore is not facing any criminal case there, it will not be a ground or a deterrent to refuse extradition just because said individual is not facing a criminal charge in Singapore. What is important, Your Honor, is that there is that element of dual criminality wherein the conduct or the act on which the request for extradition forms the basis of is similarly penalized in the other ASEAN member state in question.
Can you explain this under Article 2 na maaari lamang ma-extradite ay yung mga individual na may natitira pang hindi bababa sa 6 na buwang sentensyang dapat i-serve? Are we talking here o yung kaso niya dito sa atin, pag dumaan na po at nasintensyahan na? Are we talking about case filed here in our courts by that individual na nasa overseas? Attorney Chan.
Mr. Chair, the premise under Article 2, Paragraph 1, is that where the request for extradition is for purposes of serving a sentence, then the period of service should at least be 6 months, Your Honor.
So I say, hindi po tayo makapag-request ng extradition kung hindi pa natin nasampahan ng kaso. That hindi pa tapos yung kaso. Kailangan ma-convict na muna siya dito sa atin. Ito pong tao, individual na ito, must be convicted in the Philippine courts before we can request for extradition. Is that what it is?
Not, sorry, Your Honor. the minimum period of 6 months is only becomes applicable if the purpose or if the objective of the extradition request is for an individual to serve his sentence in the Philippines. So as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Chair, the purposes or objectives of extradition is to either prosecute an individual or to have said individual serve his sentence. There is that possibility, Mr. Chair, that a criminal proceedings have already been initiated here in the Philippines. Then the subject jumps bail or moves to another jurisdiction, but trial against said individual still proceeds and a judgment of conviction is issued by the court against said individual. So in that situation where there is a final judgment of conviction, if the sentence to be served is at least 6 months, then the Philippine government could still seek the extradition of that individual wherever he may be found in the ASEAN region, Mr. Chair.
Then does this provision risk creating a safe harbor for criminals with short remaining terms?
Your Honor,
Okay, Attorney Chan, let me redirect my question now. Dito po sa DFA na lang po natin kay Assistant Secretary Mandap. Sir, ito pong provision na ito po ba ay magre-risk na will create a safe harbor for criminals with short remaining terms?
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. In a sense, it will, but that is already the situation. Ganun na po kasi, and even with this treaty, hindi po magbabago yan. Talagang safe pa rin yung mababa ng sentensya ng mababa na sa 6 na buwan. Ang pakay po kasi nito, the main objective, as I understand it, is to go after the big criminals with, substantial sentences. So ito po, may practical reason po kung bakit hindi na natin nahabulin yung mabababa ang sentensya kasi there is a process. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years. Kung matatapos na rin lang ang sentensya, baka pagkatapos pumayag yung requested state ay tapos na yung sentensya, wala na pong isa-serve na sentence. So may practical reason po kung bakit hindi na kino-cover yung mga mabababa na ang sentensya. Kasi may administrative cost din po yun at a long process of negotiation is expected every time a request of this nature is conveyed.
Anong agency po ang mag-spearhead nito or central authority sa pagpaproseso ng request ng extradition? Is it the DFA? Is it the DOJ? Is it the DILG? Is it the PNP? Is it the Philippine Center on Transnational Crime? Sino po ang mag-lead dito?
Ang central authority po natin dito ay ang DOJ. And
So it's the DOJ.
Opo, they can confirm that.
Okay.
Your
DOJ?
Honor, under our current extradition process, all requests for extradition will be submitted to the Department of Foreign Affairs first for their initial evaluation, whether it confirms or conforms to the applicable extradition treaty. Once the DFA has evaluated the request, they then transmit it to the Department of Justice for a second round of evaluation. And if the DOJ finds everything to be sufficient in form and substance, then the actual petition for extradition is filed in the trial court here in the Philippines, Mr. Chair.
Okay, isa pang problem dito, Attorney Chan and Yusek or ASEC Mandap. Paano kung individual ay nag-file po ng asylum? Nag-file ng political asylum and being persecuted by that government, the Philippine government, and then that member state refuses to honor yung request ng extradition kasi nga nakapag-file na po siya ng asylum sa bansa na yon and on process na. How are we going to handle this? Or you may help, Attorney Mandap.
Well, ang DOJ po kasi ang
All right. then
mari-resource natin dito.
We'll wait for the DOJ. Paano po yan? Sasabihin ng host country, ay hindi, nag-file na po ito ng political asylum dahil meron po siyang political persecution dan sa inyong bansa. Hindi po namin siya may turn over. Nag-file na po siya ng asylum in our country. Bagamat meron po kayong kaso dyan, pero we really strongly believe na itong tao na ito ay politika. Ang dahilan kung bakit niya dyan pauwiin siya at kinasuhan na lang siya ng kung ano-ano. How do we answer this and what do we do?
Your Honor, under asylum mechanism, the concerned country would have to first evaluate the claim of persecution.
Hindi nga, sir, what I'm saying, nauna ho siya nag-file, tumakas ho siya sa atin. Marami hong issues ngayon, maraming taong na hinahabol ngayon na hindi natin matagpuan dahil wala tayong treaty, extradition. Yung isa pa dyan, nag-file ng political asylum. Paano ho yun? Nauna siya nag-file and on process na yung kanyang asylum request. Kinasuhan po natin, medyo mabagal po ating justice system. Taon ang inabot. Paano po ito? Sasabihin ngayon ng host country o yung signatory dito. Sorry Philippines pero nag-file na siya ng asylum dito sa amin ano hong gagawin natin? How are we going to deal with this?
Your Honor, just to clarify, by the mere instance of filing an asylum application, it does not mean that the person is already exempt from extradition. Under Article 7 of the treaty, Your Honor, while it is considered a mandatory ground for refusal, if a person claims persecution, it will still have to be evaluated by the requested state. So in that regard, Mr. Chair, it is incumbent now upon the Philippines Central Authority to present the case clearly that there is also no political persecution involved in trying to extradite said individual to the Philippines.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Attorney Chan. May I also bring to our attention Article 5, the mandatory grounds of refusal. Number 1 and letter A. Extradition shall not be granted under this treaty where the requested party determines that the offense for which the extradition is requested is an offense of a political nature. So this is aligned with what Attorney Chan said, that the requested party, whichever country is that, pag na-determine na political lang, ay maari niyang i-refuse yung request for extradition ng Pilipinas. Tama ba ho yun, Attorney Chan? Is my interpretation of Article 5, number 1, letter A, that says that extradition may not be pursued as a course of action by the requested country party if it so determines that the cause is political in nature. That is what I understand clearly from Article 5, Section 1, letter A. Thank you.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sen. Lauren, for that.
May tanong po ako, Mr. Chair. Kanina po, binanggit ni Attorney Chan na wala pang ASEAN country ang nag-ratify nito. Wala pa, no? Pero meron tayong dalawa na may bilateral because this is a multilateral instrument and we have bilateral extradition treaties with, tagal na isa 1976, isa 1981, Thailand and Indonesia. But they are obviously part of the ASEAN, so is it still necessary? It will be duplicate therefore. So my question is, with the two, we don't have bilateral extradition with the others. Should we still pursue extradition bilaterally with the others or just pass a multilateral instrument such as this so that it covers all countries, and in this case will duplicate the already existing bilateral extradition treaties with Indonesia and Thailand? I want to understand. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, the entering into this multilateral extradition treaty will be of practical benefit to the Philippines because we are able to cover all ASEAN member states within the region, while having separate bilateral agreements would be ideal because you really make it fit into the respective legal regime of the Philippines and the treaty and its treaty partner. But Your Honor, for practicality's sake, having to negotiate with the 8 remaining AMS will be timely and may not serve the purpose that we want to right now, which is to have this treaty ratified and make it applicable throughout the ASEAN region so that it will not become a safe haven for criminals, not just from the Philippines, but also from other AMS.
Mr. Chair, there must be a reason why not a single ASEAN nation has ratified it. But we want us to be the first because we're chair of ASEAN. But may dahilan siguro. Bakit ayaw nung iba?
Your Honor, it's not that they don't want, it's just that from a timing perspective, Madam Chair and Mr. Chair, this agreement was signed only in November of 2025. And it has just been a few months since its signing. So we wanted to take this opportunity of the Philippines being the first AMS to ratify the extradition treaty as a momentous achievement during its chairship. But this does not mean, Mr. Chair, that they do not want to ratify.
Just to be clear, all ASEAN nations signed it. Yes.
Yes,
Now,
Madam
we need to go through the process of ratification in the executive departments of each country, right? Because is this country considered an executive agreement or a treaty? It's a treaty.
It is a treaty,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, because
So-
it will be ratified by the
treaty. So all of them signed November lang pala, and then now they're doing, like us, the internal discussions. And is there still a process of revisions? Gaya yung nangyari kanina sa DNR, meron pa. Or dahil napirmahan na, pero hindi pa naman ratified, right? It's not yet ratified. The signature, the signing of the multilateral instrument is not yet considered a ratification. Would you consider that a ratification already? Not yet. Hindi pa.
No,
Signing pa lang.
signing.
Tapos, nag-hearing na tayo, proactive si chair, nagko-consultation kayo, ira-ratify pa. So, ibig sabihin, pwede pang maamendahan.
Not anymore, Mr. Chair. Similar to the SOFA agreement earlier.
Siya. So, na-sign na siya ng lahat ng ASEAN at na-ratify na rin ni Presidente. Ratified na ng Pilipinas. At tayo pa lang ang nag-ratify sa lahat ng ASEAN. Are we the first to ratify it? Because the fact that it's in the Senate nga, it's for concurrence already. Oh, so are we the first country to ratify it and the only country to ratify it?
Yeah, my next
Tayo-
question also,
tayo
Sen.
pala.
Lauren, with your indulgence, probably with the help of the DFA, niratify yun natin, paano yung ibang countries na hindi pa? Na effective na ba? Kung hindi pa nag-ratify sila,
That
effective
is
ba yun?
also Mr. Chair, Madam Senator, that is also the information that we have. We so far tayo pa lang po yung nag-ratify, and for the reasons already stated by the Chief State Council, kasi po siguro dahil mahalaga ito sa atin ngayon, no? Dahil sa sitwasyon natin, may mga high profile suspects tayong hinahabol, at isa pang dahilan na binanggit yung dahil chairship natin, magandang tayo yung magpakita ng inisyatibo.
Our mere ratification, it's been ratified, our concurrence will not hold effect unless how many? 6 out of the 8. No, how
6.
many? 6. Oh, no, not all. It will take effect
6.
if 6 out of the 8 will
If-
concur in the ratification.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, among the 8, do they all consider this a treaty or the others consider it an executive agreement? Lahat treaty. At lahat magko-concur. Ang proseso ba ng lahat ng ASEAN nations, gaya ng Pilipinas, dahil yung iba, like Laos, Cambodia, iba naman ang kanilang
Opo. Maybe the
proseso.
DOJ has this information, but we do
Excited.
acknowledge that there are differences in the processes that we follow.
Proseso.
Opo, tayo strictly kapag ganitong
Oo.
nature ng agreement, we have to submit it to Senate conference.
Ang nag-ratify.
Opo, sa
Wala
ngayon po.
pa. Yung pagpirma nung Nobyembre, anong tawag? Signing lang yon.
Signing po.
Ratification na yon.
Presidential ratification.
ASEAN nations, correct? Tama ba bilang ko?
Opo.
8. Ha?
11 po. 11 na po tayo.
6. Kasi Thailand, Indonesia, hindi na kailangan. So 11, teka. 6 out of 11. Teka, I'm confused. So 11. 11, teka. Sino yung pumirma nung Nobyembre? All? Lahat. 11. 11 ba? Okay. Kasama Timor-Leste. 11 pumirma. Yung pirmang yon, ratification ba? Hindi. Signing lang. Ng parang willingness. Sa 11 na yon, ilan ang nag-ratify na? Wala pa. Tayo lang. Ayun. Pero, sa dalawang bansa nga, meron na tayong extradition. So, i-minus mo yung 11, 9. Bakit ko sinabing 6 kanina? Yung, pero kailangan ng, ilan kailangan maging effective ito? 6?
6 po.
6. Okay. So, pag ma-ratify ng 6 out of 11 at ma-concur in their respective processes, it will take effect. Maski, let's say, ayaw ng Myanmar, ayaw ng Laos. Say mo, kunyari lang, ganun. Diba? Kasi maaring may ibang bansa ayaw nila eh. No?
Yan na nga yung tanong ko kanina, San Lawrence, sa DOJ. Paano nga, okay tayo, na nag-approve nito, nag-ratify nito. Eh, paano po yung mga countries na medyo nagdadalawang isip pa? Is this applicable, itong extradition ito? Definitely not, di po ba? Medyo tayo lang po yung excited dahil siya po ang chairman. Pero let's also have to consider, baka mapahiya ho tayo, sabihin lang. We show we signify our ratification, pero hindi pa po kami talaga nag-ratify sa bansa na ito. Paano ho maging effective ito? Then it will be useless. Attorney Mandap.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think there is reasonable ground to believe that most, if not all, of the ASEAN member states will sooner or later ratify it. In fact, the information we have is that Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia are currently undergoing internal processes for their ratification. So there is may impetus po kasi there is apparently consensus among the ASEAN member states that we need this kind of treaty.
Yung dalawang meron tayong, Mr. Chair, bilateral treaty, Thailand and Indonesia, counted na yon or boboto sila ulit? Kailangan proseso. So, hindi naman parang common sense, they have to agree because meron tayong bilateral sa kanila. Or baka naman iba yung treaty, yung trato nila sa iba. Baka ayaw nila ng full ASEAN, Pilipinas lang sila. At baka yung leadership ngayon, hindi kamukha nung 1976 at nung 81. Anyway, haka-haka ko lang naman yun. So, kailangan, assuming yung sinabi nyo, 4 na yan, 2 pang bansa na sasang-ayon sa multilateral treaty na ito.
Gusto lang po namin linawin that the operative fact is not just the signing by the states, but also the matter of depositing the instrument of ratification, acceptance, or approval with the depository, which is the ASEAN Secretariat.
The signing was November. Okay.
Opo.
And then depositing the instrument of ratification, naganap na po, no?
Kasi hindi pa po final. Kailangan talagang ma-complete yung ating domestic processes,
Teka.
which includes
Nag-ratify na tayo ng
ang
President.
President po, executive
Hindi pa tayo
ratification.
nagko-concur.
Opo,
Yung instrument of ratification is pag nakompleto na lahat.
opo.
So each country, we need 6, has to deposit the instrument of ratification with the ASEAN Secretary General.
That's correct.
Okay, clear.
All right.
It's beyond our term.
I know.
Or maybe depends on the political will of the other countries.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard kasi hindi naman po bilateral ito. Yung, kailangan natin ng concurrence ng, what, five more states?
6 total.
Six.
So,
Yeah, kasama tayo doon. 6.
binanggit nila, 6. Binanggit nila yung willing, no, na 3 bansa, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand. Kung
Pang-apat
4
tayo.
lang, tas 5 tayo, no, 3 sila, 4 tayo, 4 na tayo. So,
Dalawa
yung
pa.
dalawa, sino pang dalawa ang nakikita nyong magiging willing?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
we understand that how it looks, it may take some time before the extradition treaty becomes effective region-wide. This was also the experience that the DOJ went through with respect to the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. It also took some time before all member states ratified. But based on our negotiations with our counterparts, we see Timor-Leste to also be among the states that will agree. At the same time, Mr. Chair, we take comfort in the fact that the ASEAN extradition treaty was signed by all ministers of justice or the secretaries of justice in their jurisdiction, which to us is a reasonable expectation that they will also be undergoing ratification proceedings in accordance with their domestic laws. We just were seeing it as a momentous accomplishment or momentous occasion if the Philippines will be the first to submit its instrument of ratification with the ASEAN Secretary General.
So you're suggesting whether or not that the other ASEAN nations that haven't ratified it yet, we go ahead and ratify it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Itong extradition treaty na ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
For what purpose? If yung other countries naman haven't ratified this and then we ratified it, what do we get out of this? Because we're the chair? Is that the only reason? We want to show to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, we're the first one to do it under our chairship. Yun lang po ba yun? What do we benefit? I mean, sir, approving treaties, there should be we get something out of it. If we're not getting something out of this, dahil the only way para maganda tingnan, dahil chairman tayo, may mga na-accomplish tayo, I agree with you, that's good. Pero asking you directly, what do we benefit out of this? We approve it, we ratified it, the Senate, concur, etc. But then other countries remain like we were looking for 3, 4 more countries to ratify it aside, So what do we benefit out of this?
Mr. Chair, we acknowledge the seemingly
Well, before you answer that, don't get me wrong. I am too. I am very willing and interested. I support this because we're having problems right now. We're trying to catch people, chase people all over the world where we don't have extradition treaties. Pinagtatawanan tayo ng mga tao. Akala siguro na wala tayong ginagawa. Yeah, we really need this. Kung pwede, lahat ng bansa dapat may treaty tayo from not only in ASEAN but also European Union. Pero yun nga po yung tanong natin, di ba? So aprobahan lang natin basta maaprubahan natin dahil chairman po tayo, is that it? It's okay kahit na iba hindi pa. So it will just sit on the table of the Secretary General of the ASEAN while waiting for other countries to sign it. What if it's not their priority? Attorney Chan.
To a certain extent, Mr. Chair, we cannot control nor dictate among our on the other ASEAN member states on how to proceed with the ratification. But with the Philippines being the first, it sends a strong message also to our other neighbors that the Philippines is serious in its efforts to curtail and to run after criminals. And usually, Mr. Chair, when there is an ASEAN meeting or conference, that is an occasion that we can use to convince our counterparts to hasten the process of ratification in their own respective jurisdiction, Mr. Chair. And just to add, Mr. Chair, while yes, we still do not have a lot of extradition agreements with other countries, the DOJ, through the help of the DFA, is currently in negotiations with two countries of the European Union for an extradition agreement also, Mr. Chair.
Attorney.
Poland and Italy, Mr. Chair.
Poland.
None yet. It's
How
still on.
many, how many countries now na meron po tayong extradition treaty dyan po sa Europe? Hindi po ba kasama dyan ang Spain, Portugal, o Czechoslovakia? Wala ba?
Only 3 countries in EU, Mr. Chair. The United Kingdom, Spain, and Switzerland.
Switzerland. So pag pumunta yung tao na natin, na hinahanap natin sa Czechoslovakia, wala na. Pag pumunta sa Portugal doon na malagi nagsha-shopping doon, wala na. Hindi na natin. Tinatanong ko lang. I'm just merely asking. Oh, no. O sige, sa Paris, sa o anong bansa? Anong bansa bibiliin ko? Malta. Wala ba? Kasi sabi may mga apartment pa, mga ganun kwento. What's happening?
Mr. Chair, we also have a scheduled negotiation with France for extradition, which was already agreed upon even prior to the latest news involving extradition of a certain individual.
Bakit sa France lang? Bakit pa hindi pwedeng sa Portugal o sa Czechoslovakia o sa Germany? Anyway, Attorney Chan, I mean, kidding aside, of course, my colleagues, gustuhin ko man po, ma-ratify kaagad natin ito, ipasa natin dito sa Senado. The problem is my colleagues will ask me definitely on the floor, what do we get out of this, Mr. Chairman, di ba? The same question that I was asking you. Para gusto ko lang na maganda tignan dahil chairman tayo na aprubahan kaagad natin. And then they will definitely say, marami po madudunong dyan, kasama po itong katabi ko. Sasabihin, ganun ba? Aprubahan natin dahil chairman tayo. Maganda ho tignan sa papel, but then they will definitely ask me, what do we benefit out of this? I mean, ratify this extradition pero wala pa rin, hindi rin pala natin magagamit. But definitely, I support you. I support 100% na we really need the extradition treaty. At kung maaari lang, hindi lang po dito sa ASEAN members po, dapat buo halos lahat ng bansa, especially sa Europe. Diyan po pumupunta po yung mga tao, diyan po nagtatago yung mga tao na hinahanap po natin. Yan po siguro ang kailangan natin na magkaroon tayo ng treaty.
Mr. Chair, I support the ASEAN multilateral extradition agreement. And it is significant, yes, because we are chair of ASEAN. And the fact that we will be the first should not be difficult and could even be the impetus to let the others speed up their internal processes. And the fact that we have 2 countries, Indonesia and Thailand, which had decades ago had engaged in bilateral extradition treaties with us, and the possibility, according to our DFA representative, the 3 other countries, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and prospectively Timor-Leste and possibly Singapore. So with 6 that could ratify it, it will go into force, right? So yun na nakikita ko mga bansa, hindi ko kayo inuunahan na parang papayag. Tingin ko, tama ba yun? Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, kasi meron na tayo. Tapos Malaysia, and Singapore, and Timor-Leste. Tapos Pilipinas. I'm not saying that the others are not interested. I'm just
I
thinking
think
aloud.
yung Timor-Leste, mako-convince mo yung best friend mo ron. You can probably tell your best friend na Timor Leste. Baka pwede mo kaming tulungan. I mean, your friends. May maraming mga friends din ako doon.
Ang galing ka na ron nung panahon pa ni yung yumaong Secretary Angie Reyes. I've also been to that country and we have many friends there. And because it is led by a human rights
Right.
champion who is their president, I am certain we could. I do not want to interfere. We are lawmakers
Mm.
and we must not interfere
Mm.
in the job of the executive. Pero walang masama naman, no? Na
Yes.
magsabi.
To
So,
remind.
ang ibig sabihin po ng DOJ at ng DFA, maganda sana kung ma-concur tayo sa ratifikasyon hanggang Nobyembre, di ba?
Right.
Hanggang Nobyembre pa o gusto nyo ngayong buwan na ito?
Eh,
Lalong maganda.
Gusto ko yata nila next week na.
Oo. Although hindi pa, it will not take effect, it will not be enforced because 6 pa. So 5 pa sila, pero magandang hudyat. Kasi, number 1, yung issue ng human trafficking, yung issue ng droga, tapos yung mga dinadala sa Myanmar, no? Sa Laos, no? At saka yung paglipat ng mga pogo mula Pilipinas na sa Laos at Myanmar din. So ang dami talagang crimes na hirap ang DOJ kasi nga of our borders. So matutulungan natin ang DOJ sa pag-implement ng mga batas gaya ng yung advocacy ko, anti-trafficking in persons, pag merong extradition treaty. So, but I leave it to the chair. It is his decision, but I would support this.
Hey, let me quickly just ask the PNP, ano hong recorded na mas maraming kaso? Yung human trafficking or yung drugs are we're concerned? Sa statistics po ninyo, ano mas marami?
Based on the statistics, sir, they are more on drugs.
Drugs pa rin, ang
Yes, sir.
marami.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Po, yung network ng drugs, yun na rin ang network ng human trafficking eh.
And even transnational crimes.
Alright. Kailangan siguro talaga. Diyan sa may mga ASEAN countries ngayon, doon ang nagre-recruit talaga ng mga kababayan natin. Sen. Lauren. But anyway, kung wala na po kayong katanungan, Sen. Lauren, I would like to... Dami pa. Okay. Well, in the interest of time, I would like to request the agencies to submit their position papers to this committee on foreign relations. Pahingin po kami ng data sa Transnational Crime, PNP, and then the Philippine Center on Transnational Crime. Okay. With that, I would like to thank our resource persons and my fellow senator here, the beautiful lady, Senator Lauren, for today's highly productive discussion. Today, we have laid out the undeniable strategic value of deepening our defense ties with Canada and New Zealand, as well as tightening our regional justice system to the ASEAN Extradition Treaty. But this committee has made abundantly clear the Senate's concur is never a blank check. We will meticulously review the assurances given on the record today, particularly regarding who holds criminal jurisdiction over visiting forces agreement. Napag-usapan natin kanina, how we protect our environment from legal loopholes and how we guarantee true reciprocal protections for our own Filipino troops deployed abroad. We want these international partnerships to succeed, but they must succeed on terms that fiercely protect Philippine sovereignty, our laws, and our people. The committee will evaluate all the position papers submitted today to determine our next course of action and prepare corresponding committee reports. Maraming salamat, Senator Lauren, for joining us this morning and our resource persons. Since there are no further matters to take up at this time, this hearing is hereby suspended.
Technical working group pa kayo, hindi na? Ano?